She's made about 60, I think, so far, and we have supplies for another couple of hundred. And there's a lot of labor involved in making these things. You can get materials at people like Joann's fabric store here in California. It's a chain. They do curbside delivery. So whenever she's run out of something, she went out yesterday to get some more flannel, and basically you hold the bag out of the window of the car and they'll drop it in there and walk away. So you don't have to even go into the store to get the materials. It's easy to get hold of. Anybody with a sewing machine and skills on a sewing machine, which I'm afraid is not me, but I would learn if I had to, but she's way better than I will ever be at that kind of thing. So any help you can give, do it, because keeping our healthcare workers healthy is extremely important.
Yeah, so obviously it's understandable that everybody wants to kind of do their part. Where did the idea come from to make these masks and to try to make these ventilators? Why is that something that you wanted to take that particular step?
Well, anybody that's met Trish will realize that she just cares about people and she cares about these kind of things. So when this came up and it became obvious that we had a lack of masks everywhere in the country, that's just her nature. So I get whipped into shape to make sure that I cut patterns out at a speed that matches what she can produce. And then the ventilator, we're an engineering company, and funnily enough, there was a request by Judith Rubin of InPark magazine that contacted me and said, "Hey, what do you think about our industry switching over and making ventilators?" And the problem really is that it's a medical industry that you can't just make an intubated ventilator and make it safely as an amateur effort. Because once once you have a tube down your throat and anything goes wrong, you're doing more damage than you're doing good. You only need to have a pressure fluctuation that is too fast or that is carelessly managed, and you have a big problem. But then I started thinking about that whole thing and reading up on it and seeing, okay, yes, my initial reaction to that was it's not something that our industry can retool for and really manage. So I started reading up on things and seeing where that whole thing stood. And I came across this Italian idea that seems to be working for their critical care or subcritical care, I would imagine it actually is. And noticed that they were doing 3D printing for that. And then I thought, well, that's nice, but 3D printing is a relatively slow process. What can we do in order to make that happen faster? And so that's what I'm currently working on, is trying to figure out a way that we can pull people in and create hopefully thousands of these things with relatively available components, I hope, so that we can make another drop in the ocean and turn it into a little bit more of a stream.